Hello, hello. How you guys doing? It has been 2 days since I've last been live, so I'm sure you guys have missed me so dearly. I am back. For those who are not aware, I was in Montreal visiting the Ubisoft studio for something. I cannot say what, but it was something. And now I'm back. Let me just quickly finish something I was doing. Okay. I forgot to get some of the VODs ready for while I was gone for the VOD channel, so I'm just finishing what I was doing there. But today I don't know exactly what we'll be doing. I had two ideas for content, and then I realized one of them doesn't work, so I might have to rethink that. The other one still works. I'll probably still do that. You were in Canada. I'm still in Canada. What do you mean? A lot of people don't realize I'm Canadian, which is crazy. I forgot to get my water bottle. How do I come up with content 24/7? Bro, I don't. Right now I'm floundering. I have no ideas for content. I have a video for tomorrow and that's it. I'm getting to a point where daily content may no longer be a possibility, but once the new season comes out, then I'm sure that'll change. It's just, this is the most dead end of season we've ever had. Okay, I'm starting the YouTube stream right away. Let me get the tweet ready, and then I think I'll explain what we're going to be doing today. Okay. Tweeted that I'm live. Now chat. Actually, it's not even open on my handheld yet. Let me boot that up real quick. Sam, that is, I saw that and I immediately saw people like begging for 1,000 gifted. I'm like, that is insane that anyone would even think about begging for that. Insanity. I finally made it out of bronze. Wow. You did it, guys. Can't tell if the game crashed on my handheld or... Oh no, it's still booting. Weird. P aces today, 1,000 gifted. Minimum. Absolutely minimum. Okay. I guess while my handheld boots up, I'm just gonna grab my water bottle. I think I left it. Where did I leave it? I actually might have left it in the car. I'll have to go grab one from the kitchen. That 1,000 gifted is real insane. Yeah, Jack, you should go grab your mom's credit card, put in those funny 3 numbers on the back, and then click the 1,000 gifted. 2,000 subs to recreate the Gone 6 camera miss. 2,000 gifted? I'm on it. You get the other credit card, and when I'm back, if I see 2,000 gifted, we recreate it. 2,000 pounds on it, yeah. What a deal. All right, we're back. Alright, I'm back. Wait. Why'd I get an error on my handheld PC? Two, 3, 6? 2, 3, 6. Huh. Weird. How was my 2 days off? I can't say what I was doing, but they weren't 2 days off. It was basically 2 days of work. Became my favorite streamer / YouTuber the moment you said you like Binding of Isaac. You got the Binding of Isaac t-shirt. The Bible Thump, which I think is not an emote anymore on Twitch, but we still have Varsity Thump, so we're still good there. My handheld PC isn't able to connect to test server for some reason, which better not be the case because I was going to test a few things today. Please boot up. In the meantime, we'll just chat. Oh, it's on 7TV? Oh. I remember, I think the thing was that they just didn't want to pay the dev anymore for Isaac emote. Like Twitch didn't. And then they're like, alright, we're just not going to let you have it then. Might have to reboot my handheld PC. Oh, never mind. It finally worked. I say it worked and then now it's a black screen. Why you be like this? I think it's just having internet issues. It'll boot up. And hopefully we'll be able to do some testing. You need to buy the Steam PC when it comes out? That was a Steam PC. They already had a Steam machine. It's just same thing as before. It's a PC. Jesus, I don't know why it's bugging out so much. It finally went off the black screen, but it's... Oh. There we go. All I had to do was complain. Alright, chat. Is everything working? Audio's working? Yeah. Normally with each season, I do a video where I go through and I test all interactions with the new operator, but obviously when it comes to Thatcher, everyone knows how he works. There is no real new interactions with him because it's still an EMP, it's just a different delivery system. Instead of a EMP grenade, it's an EMP bazooka. So, instead of doing Thatcher tests, today we're going to do mute tests because I don't think people realize how much mute has been nerfed. Like, he has been nerfed a lot. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go mute and then have my handheld PC go attacker. And we're going to go through basically every interaction we can and see what has been changed. Because there's a lot that has been changed. Some of it still is the same. But I would argue now that Mew is like substantially more useless than he was before as a anti-gadget thing. He's definitely better as an anti-intel because his mute jammer radius is now, I think, twice as large, so he can block doorways super easily and block drones. But everything else is basically useless. We'll start with probably the number one that people would want to see. Oh. 60 FOV, thumbnail looking ass. What did they do to mute? I'll show you. So, overall changes. Mute is now a 2-speed. Everyone happy. Yay. Mute's jammer now has double the range and radius. Everyone also happy. Yay. The issue is that Mute's gadget no longer stops other gadgets that don't have like a detonator. So Ace, for example, even though the wall is muted, the Ace charge will still go off perfectly fine, and it can't be disrupted because the Mute jammer no longer EMPs. As you can see, the Mute jammer got destroyed, and the Ace does not get stopped by it. Just to prove it yet again, put down another Mute jammer, we'll put an Ace right next to it. It still goes off perfectly fine. So, I'd say that's a pretty substantial nerf. Now, that being said, Ace is banned in like, I think they said it was 90% of matches. So, will that ever happen? Probably not. When it comes to like Hibana and Thermite, Mute still works exactly the same, because when you put down a Mute jammer and a Thermite puts a Thermite charge on a wall, he has to click the detonator. The detonator still gets jammed because this jams signals. It doesn't jam gadgets, it jams signals. So, a Thermite charge will still get jammed. Hibana charges will still get jammed. A normal breaching charge will still get jammed. It's just Ace does not. I already have a few in my pocket that I want to test, but I probably will forget some interactions, so I'll probably get chat to help me. I think this next one's going to be a big one. Actually, yeah, I will do that quickly. People are asking about can openers. I should have shown that. Can openers are not affected, but I'll show you just to be certain. But we'll show the hard breach stuff, and then I want to show trap type gadgets, and then we'll do other random interactions. I do wish there was a way for us to very easily test this without having to reset every round, but as life. Okay, hard breaching gadgets. When you put down the secondary hard breach gadget, it still goes off even though it's well within the mute jammer radius. I don't know actually about cameras. I assume cameras still get jammed just like before. You guys can't see it because I'm on the handheld, but yes, they get jammed. So that is normal. Because again, remember, this basically jams all signals. So cameras have a signal. They go from the camera to the person. That gets jammed. But the hard breach charge, you just put it down and it goes off automatically. Because again, the essential thing to remember is that mute jammers no longer EMP. Basically what they did before was they just had a persistent EMP zone around them. So they would do what the, what's it called? Like what the Thatcher EMP would do. Now it is just a signal jammer. Ramlo tank won't work. I mean, that one never worked. I'll show that later. They interface by making him fat, but buff him so when everyone bans Kite and Bandit. I mean, it's not like they intentionally, like, buffed him with the mute thing. They were just... Their whole argument with the mute change was that it was inconsistent. Okay. Another big one that people are forgetting about is... So I'm going to put an air jab on the other side of the window. It's at the bottom. So a lot of people would carry on a mute jammer in their pocket and they would use it to, you know, disable claymores, disable air jabs, and then they would jump out on people. But that is no longer the case because when you put down the mute jammer, which you guys know was right there, if I put down another air jab, you can see it does not get jammed. They no longer get jammed because it's not a signal. It is a gadget that is just on. It doesn't need a signal to go off. It is just persistently there. So even if you have a mute jammer in the radius, it will not affect it. So you can no longer use mute as a jump out operator. I'm gonna go over claymores. Let me see. Claymores, and then what else do I want to test? Got it. I'll do a 2-for-1 here. I'll do something different, and then we'll go back to the claymore. Just have to remember to edit it out of order. So another thing that should still work, just to prove it does, is that... Actually, this will be, I guess, slightly different. Before, when a Grim would launch his B canister, if it landed within the range of a mute jammer, it wouldn't deploy because it was getting EMP'd. So now it should deploy, but... Oh, actually, it... Oh, never mind. That is changed. Standing inside of a mute jammer no longer makes you immune to Grim. Before, if you stood inside the mute jammer range, Grim couldn't see you because the mute jammer would be blocking the signal to go back to him. I don't know if that's a bug or not. But if a Grim shoots a canister at you and you're within a mute jammer, you're still going to get spotted. That's surprisingly an actually very big change, because that'll be huge for clubhouse rafters, where a lot of people would put mute jammers up there, and then even with the Grims, like, they wouldn't go off, or you couldn't see where people were. But now you can actually block that, which is kind of stupid, but... Actually, no, that is just stupid, because it's still a signal. That means Grim Bees should be sending a signal to Grim and getting jammed by this, but they're not. We'll test a few more like that. I think Lion and Dokkaebi will test. But before we do that... To go back to what we were doing before. Now I'm going to put a Claymore outside the window. Everyone knows that Claymores would always get jammed. You would use this to jump out. And then when I vault out, the Claymore does not get jammed, I blow up. Okay. The next one I want to try is Lion. What about Nook? That's technically not a signal. Nook has never been affected by mute. There's no interaction there anyways. Okay, so how it worked before was that if you were inside the range of a mute jammer and Lion scanned, you were able to move around freely and not get detected. Is that the case? No, you do get detected. It doesn't say it. I feel like normally when you get hit by a line scan, you hear like the ding, ding, ding as you get spotted, but I didn't hear it that time. But I can confirm that on the handheld PC, like from Line's perspective, he does get the pings for where mute is. Yeah, you get scanned 3 times. It says pinged by lines ED1. I'm going to try it outside of the mute jammer and see if I hear the audio then. Because the mute jammer actually might be a detriment because you won't notice you're getting pinged unless you pay attention to the text. I know a lot of people will just like hyper focus and ignore it. Usually the audio cue helps. Oh. Is there not normally an audio cue? Maybe I'm thinking of the attacker's perspective. I swear normally when you get scanned, you hear the ping each time you get pinged. Maybe I'm wrong. Yana gets jammed too when her clone gets deployed. She's always been jammed. I don't think Nook gets jammed. We can try it after. Okay. I'm gonna... We'll go Dokkaebi. If Dokkaebi no longer gets countered by mute, then I think Dokkaebi's gonna become an instant ban every single time, no matter what. Oh, does Line get countered if he stands in the mute jammer? That's also a good question. We probably should go back and test that. Did he get blocked before? Like, if he was standing in a mute jammer, was he able to, or not able to deploy his scan? I know Finka was like that before. Also, we have to wait a while, because the Dokkaebi calls take 1.5 minutes to charge. You missed the old Lion? I mean, it was fun and chaotic, but it was terrible for the game. As fun as that was. Okay. We'll try the first call now. Actually, I'll wait a few seconds. I don't have them back to back. Okay. I'm going to call with Dokkaebi. If I get called, mute is terrible. Oh, okay. I don't get called. So that stayed the same. Mute still counters Dokkaebi. Now the question is, can Dokkaebi call within the jammer radius? Before she couldn't. Let's see if she can now. I need 10 seconds. Okay. Oh. I can't. It says logic bomb is jammed. Cannot call. Okay, so Dokkaebi has stayed the same. Lion is different, Grim is different, but Dokkaebi is the same. Okay, we'll try Lion again to see if he can scan within the radius of a jammer. And I'm also going to test something. Or I'm going to redo the Claymore one to show different perspectives. Because I was thinking about it. The Claymore was like a little bit far from the window, so I'm worried people are going to be like, that doesn't like count. It was too far away, even though it was right next to the window. So I'll refilm it. Okay. So according to the chat, and I'm pretty sure they're right, Lion was not able to scan one within the radius of a mute jammer. And he still can't. So you can get pinged while you're within the radius of a mute jammer, but he can't scan. That stays the same. Here's what I'll do. So to prove the Claymore absolutely cannot possibly get jammed, because people will be like, it's too far from the window or whatever. Claymore's right on the other side of the door. Putting a mute jammer here. I'll even put a mute jammer like over here. Everything possible is going to get jammed. If you remove it, Claymore still works. Does not get EMP'd anymore. Even though it's well within the radius of the jammer.
I just love dicks.
I'll try the Nook one. I think I should be able to get it from the perspective of mute. I was thinking I would have to swap sides, but I think I can do it. Thanks for sub Jack on Xbox. Does he counter Rara? We'll test that after. Trying to go in like orders of themes, so went through like the scanny operators. I should have done Deimos as well. Okay. So someone claims that mute can stop Nook from using her gadget, which I don't think is true. And here's how we'll test it. So she has her gadget on now. I'm on the main lobby camera. Oh. Oh. Okay. What's really interesting, maybe I'll be the only one who finds this interesting. So, when Nook uses her gadget, if you stand still, it has no, like, it doesn't drain the usage of the gadget. It only drains it when you, like, sprint or shoot, something like that. Then it gets fuzzy and it uses a little bit of the bar. But the mute jammer works a little differently. So I'm going to very slowly creep forward, and then it's going to deactivate it right there. I am not even close to within the radius of the mute jammer. So to show you what I mean, if I put the mute jammer here, look at how far Nook is from the mute jammer. She's double the distance, but her gadget gets kind of disabled, so she can still be invisible and have her silent step on, but it'll be fuzzy, which means that when I'm on cameras, I'll be able to see her. Or, like, I'll see the fuzzies. But what also happens is that when Nook pops her ability, it drains the bar. So if I hop on camera, even though she's really far away, she moves forward. She doesn't have much left in the bar, but she moves forward. She gets fuzzy, and then now her gadget has been drained. So even though she doesn't really have, I guess it sends signals out, but even though she's not sprinting, shooting, or whatever, it drains the usage of the bar, and it drains it from really far away. Like, this is an insane counter. Not even within the radius of the jammer. This is the radius, right where I'm standing. She's twice as far away, and she gets her bar drained. Now, if she doesn't have her gadget on, right now she doesn't have it on, and it's not going down. Even though she's within the radius, it doesn't go down. It's only when she activates it. Or actually, oh, she can't even activate it while she's inside the radius. I'm pressing it, and it says it's jammed. I think that's new. I feel like that wasn't there before, right? But that is like such a weird, over-the-top counter to Nook, who's arguably one of the worst operators in the game right now. She's okay in Pro League, but she's terrible everywhere else, and she just got absolutely destroyed by a mute jammer. I feel like that's new, though. I don't think that was the case before. You love to see it. It's because she edits herself out of video or camera feed, so she has to send a signal to do that. That's what I kind of assumed it's supposed to be, but it's still, I feel like it shouldn't be draining it, especially from her being farther away than what the radius is. I think she's the only operator who gets countered outside of the radius. Have I tried Jackal? No, because I'll swap sides for Jackal so we can see his perspective. Okay, a really interesting one that a lot of people have been talking about is Flores. So Flores before, when he would deploy his drone and it would drive into the mute jammer, it would get jammed. Like, you know how a bulletproof camera jams things? It would just lock up and be EMP'd. Now, it works a little differently, where when it moves forward, it kicks Flores off of the drone, but the drone keeps moving. And he can't hop back on it. It just keeps moving and moving until it runs out of time, and then it locks and explodes. So that's better for Flores, because before it would just get jammed and then be useless. But you did always have the option where you could, like, if you could see the mute jammer, you could shoot it, and then the drone would arm and explode where it was. Now it just drives past. So it's like buff / nerf at kind of a toss-up. And then I assume, yeah, he can... Wait, actually, wait. Oh, never mind. Oh. If he puts the drone down while he's in the jammer, it's just a jammed screen. And then he gets off. Was that how it worked before? And then you can pick it back up. I swear before it would just say jammed and you can't do that. I can't remember how it works on the live build. Actually, wait, no, wasn't it? Okay, I remember. I feel like I've done it on Coastline Window for Kitchen. I think when you would hop on the drone, it would immediately kick you off and the drone would just be fuzzy. But what's interesting is it doesn't kick him off. He can stay on it as long as he wants, and then he just has a blurry or like a staticky screen. And then he can get off whenever he wants. Now what I want to know is what happens when you destroy the mute jammer here. Will it drive forward or will it lock and explode? Oh. It just stays there. Now what happens if I put down another drone? Oop. Huh. So he could just have two drones out, but one of them's kind of useless? Can I move it around or anything? No. Well, let me guess. You can still go pick it up, right? Yep. That is a really weird interaction. I feel like that was not intended to work that way. Huh. Wait, oh. Here's what I'm going to try. Okay. I'm going to put down one drone. It's going to get locked. Okay. And then I'm going to put down another drone. That one's also going to get locked. Okay. Now I destroy the mute jammer. And I try to use the gadget. And okay, I was wondering if I could hop back on the drone once I'm out, because Flores doesn't have any more drones, but it just says you're out of drones. So I would have to go pick one up and then re-put it down. Makes sense, but I thought you would be able to get access to it again. So once it's been jammed, you just lose full access. You can never get back into it. And it's not armed, so defenders can still destroy it. I feel like that's overall a nerf for Flores. I thought it was more of a buff, but I think it's more of a nerf. What happens when you kill the jammer with a Flores drone in its range? We already did that. Unless you asked that right before I did it. Let me take a second to think about who else I want to test. Got it. Did that before? Okay. I see that RAM has a bugged interaction with the jammer. I'll have to look at that after. just put down a jammer or two. Actually, I'll put down 3. Oh, I should check some, or done something, but that's okay. So, we have sense here. On the live build, or like before this season, if sense put down a roly-poly-oly, if the, what's it called, projector, like the individual projector was within the range of a mute jammer, it would not deploy the wall. But now, it still does. All of these are within the range of the mute jammers and they still deploy. So normally, before this buff, let's say only the last one would work and all the rest would be disabled until the mute jammer was destroyed. So I guess they aren't sending a signal. Or I guess the jammer's not jamming a signal because all it has to do is just deploy a light. And there's no like receiver, it's just a sender. And then, let me see if I can toggle them. Yeah. What if I'm within the range of the mute jammer? Yeah, even when within the range of the mute jammer, you have full control. Which, I think that's an inconsistency, right? Because technically, sense has to send a signal to the roly-poly-oly to turn on and off the lights. But even though they're within the range of a mute jammer, they still have full control. I think that is an inconsistency that will probably get patched. That would be my guess. Yeah, the toggle shouldn't work. But I'm assuming that's just an inconsistency because they probably weren't expecting too much to change and they probably didn't test that. Alright, people have been asking for Raura and Ram, so we'll do those real quick. Isn't Sense a he? Sense is technically non-binary, which I know is going to upset some people in chat, but you would refer to Sense as a they. Okay, I'm trying to think of how Mute and Raura worked before I even test this. Was there even an interaction before? Because I think Mutes were too short, right? Okay, so we have Raura. I'm going to put down a Mute Jammer right here. And with the new expanded radius, it is large enough to cover the top of the door, but it should not affect Raura, because there's no signal. Yeah. It doesn't affect it at all. If I put it down after, I assume it has no effect as well. Yeah. Because it is mechanical. Oh. It destroyed my signal disruptor. That's weird. Yeah, Mute does not affect Raura at all, and I would assume, since it's a launcher, which is a physical item, it will not affect her ability to shoot them. It does not. They still go off. So Mute does not affect Raura at all. I think before, if you were able to get a Mute Jammer high enough that it would hit the top of the door, it would disable the door and open it, but it does not happen anymore because it doesn't EMP the door. Again, it only jams signals. Alright, I gotta test RAM as well. People were saying RAM is buggy, but I don't really understand how RAM would be buggy. Actually, I think I have an idea. I'll test it. Also, chat, Annie just told me I have to order lunch for myself today because we have no food. We just got back from Montreal. We have no food, so I have to order something, which means chat. I'm gonna need 200, actually sorry, 1,000 gifted subs so I can afford lunch today. Actually, I'm gonna test this upstairs for a very particular reason. Actually, it'll probably be better if I do it in the kids' room, because it'll be more room to have the rams move about. Okay. So, with ram, mute should block her ability to detonate the ram because it's a signal when she tries to... Oh, let me move in front of the camera. When she tries to send the signal, it's jammed. Oh, wait, what? Oh, so she can throw another one. Oh. So you throw the ram, you try to detonate it, it's jammed, so then it just moves on to the next ram boogie drone. Interesting. So now I can put down all three. This is kind of what I expected to happen, but I'm still a little bit surprised at how it worked. So now that the jammer's gone, you can see the lines of all the rams, and then I can set it off. Oh. Oh. Okay, so when I set it off, it only set off the most recent one, and now I can't set off this one. I will have to, like if I try, I'm pressing the gadget button, it's not setting off. I have to pick it back up and put it down again. Interesting. I was hoping that we could have it set up where you could have all three ram drones go off at the same time and just destroy the entire floor, but no. That is a wonky interaction. I don't think it's supposed to work like that. Also, one thing I haven't tested yet. Let me make sure. I'll show it again when I swap sides, but Mute Jammer does not disable your optics. I think it used to. Thank you for the 18 months from Vade. Time flies. I don't even see the 1,000 gifted option on the menu anymore. Deluxe, it's because they checked your bank account. Sorry, pal. So that'd be OP to have all rams go off at the same time. To be fair, you'd have to have the enemy leave a mute jammer there to allow you to do that. So that's not really overpowered. That would just be interesting. I'll test Deimos. I never checked Deimos before. Oh, if I'd killed Ram, it would have been 6 to 7. Missed opportunity. Okay, so before, when Deimos would try to track someone who was within the range of a mute jammer, it would automatically fail. Does that happen again? Yes. Every time he tries to track, it is failing instantaneously. Now, if mute leaves the jammer, and he starts tracking, and I walk into the jammer, it fails. And it gives me my charge back again, which is how it works normally. So that hasn't changed at all. And then if I track mute, let it fully go off, and then walk in, it disables the Deimos track. Okay, so Deimos hasn't changed at all. Lion kind of changed, Dokkaebi didn't change, I still have to test Jackal, but Deimos is still exactly the same. Nothing new there. I'll test Blitz when I swap sides, because I think that'd be better to get the attacker perspective on than the defender perspective. I don't know if there's any more attacker options though I want from like me being on mute. Let me see. I'll go through them all. Striker doesn't have anything. Sledge doesn't have anything. Thatcher, no. Ash, no. Thermite, we already know. I explained it. Twitch, no. Monty, no. Glaz, no. Use cluster charges, wouldn't be able to go off, but I think that's intuitive for you guys to know. I'll go Blitz after. IQ doesn't, no. Buck, no. Blackbeard, no. Capitan, no. Hibana, we already talked about. Jackal, test after. Ying, no. Actually, I should test Ying. I'll swap sides when I test that. I wonder if Mute now disables her visor. Zofia, no. Dogobi, we already tested. Lion, we already tested. Finka, I'll be on the other side for that. Maverick, no. Nomad, tested. Gridlock, no. Nook, tested. Amaru, nothing. Kali, nothing. Yana should work exactly the same. I'll test that when we swap sides. Zero, we kind of already showed. Sense, we showed. Grim, we showed. Brava, same old, same old. Actually, I'll test that with Brava. Should I still send in cheater clips where you're not reviewing them this week? I should still be reviewing them, since I have literally no other content lined up, so feel free to keep sending them in. Ooh, okay, since we're testing Brava, I'm gonna see. I don't think the mute jammer reaches the camera. Okay, we'll test this part first, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so we have a Kludge drone coming in. It's hacking the mute jammer. Now that it's swapped sides, if I try to hop on cams, I'm jammed. If I hop off cams outside of it, it works. This is what I want to see. I'm going to go put a jammer above to show that cameras, if they're within the range of a Brava mute jammer, they will get disabled. I think it should be like right here. Hey, Nasut. How are you doing? Okay, so hacked the mute jammer. Let me hop on the lobby camera. Did I not get it in the right spot? Maybe not. Okay, now we've hacked it again. This hopefully should be right above the camera. Yes, okay, so the camera will be completely disabled. Now, the mute jammers don't quite have the range to make it all the way up to the camera by default. They're just short, but if it's above a camera, it'll disable the camera. And I don't know how a lot of the mute jammer interactions will work with defender gadgets, but I can't imagine a lot of it would change. I need a third PC. I have a laptop, but I don't even have the game installed. But I need a third PC to test all of them. The only ones I'd want to test would be like if there's a Meister camera in the range of a mute jammer that gets Brava'd. I think on the main build, the Meister camera would open up and then be shootable. But on the new version, it shouldn't open up. It's just disabled. Everything else, I think... Again, there's not many signals on defense. It's all about signals. The mute jammer is now sending signals, or blocking signals, rather. So anything that's just a static, like a Capcan trap, is not going to get affected by a Brava mute jammer. It will still work because it doesn't have a signal. It is just a gadget that has like a laser. It's like a claymore. Oh, actually, I should test C4. Yes, C4 gets jammed by Brava'd. thing. What if I put down another mute jammer? Because I think before, when you would Brava a mute jammer and then put down another mute jammer next to it, your mute jammer would get disabled by the Bravud, because the Bravud one existed first.
I just love dicks.
But if I send in the drone, it gets disabled by my jammer. So both the jammers exist together. They don't disable one another. Thanks for sub, Lazy Gator guy. Actually, I think that's everything I need to test while I'm on mute, so now we should swap sides. Also, chat, while we're setting up the new custom game lobby, can I vent to you guys about how stupid some websites are? I had a website that I was on that they were like, you need to change your password because, you know, security measures or whatever, okay? It asked me to also change my security questions. And one of the questions was, what is the name of blank? Like someone from your life. And I put in the answer, and it told me my answer was not valid. And I was like, this is a person's name. How can an answer not be valid? And then it said the name has to be like minimum 6 characters or something, or 8 characters. I'm like, what if someone's name is shorter than that? And there was no option to put in a shorter name. Like, this is the worst website design I have ever seen. Pissed me off. Ruined my whole morning. Thank you for the 8 months from Nasut. Welcome back. Rip all Bob friends. Happy Thanksgiving Eve. Yo, Thanksgiving was a month ago. What are you talking about? Gotta add some extras. Exactly. I was like, how the fuck am I supposed to add question or letters to a question or to a name for a question? My stream was too long. Apparently, oh, the website also had a limit on that as well. So yeah, if you lived on a long street name, it actually would be limited. That's so dumb. Website designers, man.
I just love dicks.
Okay. On the original version of Mute, if Jackal had his Inox on when he would walk into the range of a mute jammer, it would disable it. Now it doesn't. So his screen would go all fuzzy because it was disabling an electronic gadget. But I guess it doesn't have a signal, so that's why it's not getting blocked. But what if I scan someone? Oh. So should that not... That's inconsistent, right? Because I know technically it's not sending a signal to a receiver or anything. It's kind of like using GPS, whatever, to track where they are. But like, it shouldn't be able to pinpoint where someone is if I'm in a signal jammer, because it can't send signals to like a satellite to find where mute is. I think that's an inconsistency, right? Is everyone in agreement? Because this seems kind of dumb. It shouldn't work like that. The plus side is now you don't have to worry about a mute jammer making your screen fuzzy while you're trying to push in. You can still push in and still have full vision while in a mute jammer. And use your gadget. There's literally... Mute doesn't do anything to Jackal anymore. Because I'm pretty sure before, if you were within the range of a mute jammer with Jackal, you couldn't track footprints. Because, like, your gadget would be disabled. But now you can see with your gadget on, and you can track footprints. Posh check. Also, thanks for the 6 months from Recon Boy. Is this for the new season? Yes, it is. Who else did I want to try? Oh, Ying. Actually, I'll try Blitz first. Oop. So Blitz should also have a change. The way it worked before is that since Blitz has an electronic gadget, when you were inside the range of a mute jammer, you couldn't flash people because it would get, you know, EMP'd. But now, since all you're doing is clicking a button that flashes on your shield, it should work. It does. You can fully flash people while inside the range of a mute jammer because there's no signal. You're just detonating the flash on your shield. You're not sending a signal from like a remote to the shield. It's on the shield. It goes through the wires that you can see down there, and it just flashes. So mute no longer counters Blitz, which I don't think will affect many people, but that is kind of a buff for shields in a meta where people hate shields because they say they're too strong. Yeah, there's no reason to be afraid of mute now as a Blitz. I already showed Nook, but I'll show Nook again. Because I wouldn't mind getting the perspective of Nook for this. Buff shields. Shields are fun. I get other people don't like them, but they are fun. Shields literally won M80 the Munich Major. I think they ran shields more than anybody. And I love it. Okay. Never seen the Blitz shield being cancelled out by jammers, to be honest. Nothing changed. I mean, just because you never saw it doesn't mean it's not a factor. It'd mainly be at the higher levels of play where you'd see a mute sitting in a corner, Blitz rounds a corner trying to flash them, and it is jammed, and then mute just punches them and kills them. But again, if you're not playing at the high level, you're probably not going to see that. Okay. For those who missed it, Nook has been very much countered by mute. So for the Nook perspective, just so you guys see, I have the bar in the bottom right corner. It only goes down when I like sprint, when I shoot, but if I stand still or walk normally, or even just reload, it just stays. It's an infinite charge ability. And the mute jammer, which is sitting right here, has a radius that goes about to the edge of the sandbags. But look, when I get like to the hatch, I'm not even at the sandbags yet. My gadget is being countered by the mute jammer, which I'm well out of the range of. Depletes the entire charge, and now it's gone. Even though I'm standing still, I'm not doing anything that depletes my charge, Nook now just gets hard countered by mute, which is crazy. I don't know why, but she does. So for all like 5 Nook mains out in the world, be careful with mute. But to be fair, I think what we've seen...
Love Dex, bro.
Or is that fair? I'm trying to think. One sec. How many got buffed / nerfed? I'd say that's about fair. Yeah, because I was going to say, now overall, like, Nook... Or not Nook. Mute is worse. So people probably won't choose mute as much. So you probably don't have to worry about this as much with Nook. But it is just annoying to have to even think about. Again, I step in, it just depletes. I'm not doing anything, I'm standing still. It drains my entire gadget. Hard counter. Thanks for sub J Cook. Overall, the nerf for mute hits harder than the compensation. Yes, I'd say mute is nerfed way more than he is buffed. Again, the only advantage he has is that now he's a 2-speed. But I think he loses way more interactions than he gains. The Grim one was a massive one. Lion one is also massive. The fact that mute doesn't counter any of them is crazy. Because the Lion one's also like, it never really made sense to begin with. It was just like bouncing motion signals away, which didn't really make much sense, but it was still like a signal, so it jammed it. Now it doesn't do shit. Anyone else I have left to test? I've basically tested everyone. Oh yeah, Ying. When are we getting the hamburger operator? The operator that eats hamburgers and does nothing during prep phase. Sounds like my randoms. I feel like that's already in the game. I think after Ying, there's only one other person I want to test. Just for no reason, really. Okay. Previously, when Ying was in the range of a mute jammer, it didn't do anything. Even though it was like an EMP gadget, it wouldn't disable my electronic screen that makes me immune to candelas. But actually, wait. Oh, does it already do that? So you can see every time I pull out the candela, you know, you get the electronic screen going. Now when I walk in the range of a mute jammer, it disables it. But that's not how it works in the live build. Because I actually tested this recently. I did a whole TikTok proving that it doesn't affect Ying. It's the Tubarao that affects Ying. But now I guess mute and Tubarao affect her. Because if I throw this down, Ying can now get flashed because of mute. She can flash herself again. So if you're Tubarao'd or you're muted as Ying, do not use your candelas because it will just counter you. That is actually a massive nerf for Ying and a big buff for mute. That's probably one of the best things he's had that's changed. Which, to be honest, doesn't make any sense because the visor doesn't have a signal. It is just a like protective screen that reduces the effectiveness of flashes. But for some reason, I guess it has a signal that gets interrupted. I don't understand how that does anything. But that is massive for mute and a huge nerf for Ying. I'm going to have to redo my TikTok. Because everyone was like, mute counters Ying, and I proved that he didn't, but now he does. Maybe the devs saw that TikTok and then put this in because of me. I'm sorry, guys. I know people will make the joke, Ubisoft has no idea who I am, but I shockingly do get messaged a lot that a lot of my videos where I complain about stuff get sent around inside Ubisoft, and they watch it. I don't know how I feel about that. One thing I'll test, I'm going to just walk slightly out of the range, because you know how Nook gets affected really far away? I wonder if Ying also gets affected really far away at all, even though no, it still works. Ooh, one thing I'll test here. Because this, I think, would be way more likely. If I throw Candela, it starts going off, and then I walk in, yeah. So if you walk into the jammer mid-flash, it'll still flash you. Damn. What about warding goggles in the proximity of a Bravo mute jammer? I don't have my third PC set up. I'm not testing that. I don't know if I have anything else to test. Also, did I thank Jay Cooks you? I don't think I did. Or maybe I did. I can't remember. Either way, thank you, Jay. Oh. I did want to check Finca. I don't think it'll change anything, but might as well. I did thank you. Well, Jay, you just got 2 thank yous. You now owe me 2 subs. That's how the world works. These mute changes seem rather inconsistent. I think everyone would agree with that. I think what's really weird is that before, I don't think there was ever something mute did that was really inconsistent. There were like a few things here and there, but it feels like almost everything we've gone over today is very inconsistent and doesn't like make logical sense for us. So he definitely has become more inconsistent, which I think this is just going to make it really, really hard for new players to learn mute. One thing I'm going to test is if I'm within the range of a mute jammer, can I still think a boost? No. Adrenal Surge is jammed. And I assume because of how they've changed Finka, if I Adrenal Surge and then walk in, it does not affect me. I would also assume that if a teammate is within the range of a mute jammer and I Adrenal Surge, it won't go to the teammate because that's how it worked before. But I don't have a third PC to test that, so we're just going to have to assume that. Thank you for the gifted sub, Jay. Wait, if I thank Jay again for the gifted sub. Oh, another gifted sub. Oh my god. Infinite money glitch, chat. They wanted to make him more complex but didn't really test all the interactions. I would find it really hard to believe that they didn't test the interactions. But it does feel like that because a lot of these just don't make sense. I don't think there's anything else that we have left to test. I think everything that we have tested... Actually, I'll do like Yana, because people were mentioning it's changed, but I know it's not. It's still the same. And then maybe I'll test Glass Scope, and then we'll be done. Because I think that's everything. Our gadget is nanobots, if I recall correctly, which is why you need a signal. Yep, I mean, that's exactly how it worked before. Nothing has changed there. We just wanted to make sure. Okay, so as we all know, when drones get in the range of a mute jammer, they get disabled. Yana Clone is no exception. She also gets disabled in the range of a mute jammer. And then you get kicked off and it destroys the drone. It has always done that. That has not changed at all. Oh, but speaking of droning and intel, here's one thing I want to test. Before, with mute, because the range was so small, if you put a mute jammer on, like, say, the right side of the door here... Actually, I'll move that over a bit because that's not really how it would have been. It would have been a bit more over. Like, let's say we put a mute jammer there. Before, you used to be able to get a drone. You would line it up, and then you could jump from, like, here, and you could jump past the mute jammer. I assume because of the increased radius, that is no longer possible. Nope. As soon as you try to jump through, you are, like... Because of how large the radius is, you're not making it past that. Which is the whole point. Like, that's why mute got changed, is to counter drones more instead of countering gadgets. But it will make it very, very hard to drone if someone is a good mute player. Have I tested RAM already? Yes. I think Glaz is the only one left that I need to test. Even then, I don't need to test him. I'm just doing it. Also, what about a thermite interaction? Because if he's next to the mute jammer with his handheld device, apparently it doesn't go off. Yep, that's how it should work. It was inconsistent before, and it became consistent with this change. Whether it's him in the mute jammer or the charge in the mute jammer, thermite cannot set off his charge. Did I test Sledge to see if his sledgehammer stopped working? Not a bad idea. Okay. This should not affect Glaz, but I assume being in the range of a signal jammer, yeah, it does not disable his thermal. I'm in the range. I can still see thermal. If I put down the smoke, I can still see thermal. Because this isn't a signal. It's a, like, mechanical device, so there's no reason for it to be blocked, which makes sense. It still is the exact same as it was before. And I don't think mute ever countered Glaz. Actually, no. Or maybe he didn't. I know Two-Brow countered him. If you were inside a Two-Brow canister as Glaz, you wouldn't be able to see anyone thermal. Actually, no, mute was the same. Yeah, no, mute used to block Glaz. So this is actually a Glaz buff. Because Glaz is no longer affected by the mute jammer. Because if I went to do Glazaric on a muted wall, I couldn't see people as well. You can still see them, but it was really weak. Now it doesn't affect it at all. Once again, asking for thermite. We already know thermite. I'll do it just to prove how it works. Do Hacked-Rooney gates get jammed? No, because it's not a signal. I also keep answering these questions as if we know for sure, but with how inconsistent everything has been, there's always the possibility I could be wrong. Does he still counter Lion? No. We already tested that. He does not. Lion and Grim, he no longer counters at all, which is crazy. Okay, we'll set up for the thermite, and then we'll be done for the testing. Okay, so just to show with thermite, because like Ace doesn't get countered by mute anymore, but thermite still does. If I am outside of the range of a mute jammer, the mute jammers are there. I am not being jammed. But the thermite charge is, it will not go off. It is jammed. Now, if I shoot the mute if I shoot the mute jammer, you will see the thermite charge will glow. So now it is on. Signal can be sent, but if I walk in the range of a mute jammer, or actually I didn't know that that would happen, but since the signal gets blocked, the light turns off, which means that I cannot send off the thermite charge. So if the light is on, it works. If the light is off, it doesn't work. I did not know that they would do that when I'm within the range of a mute jammer. The way it worked before was, I believe, if thermite was in the range of a mute jammer and he hit the button, it would still work. The signal would still send. The thermite charge was the only one that mattered. Now it is either the sender or the receiver. If they're jammed, that doesn't work. And the same goes for Hibana. Can thermite still get a charge or repel at the top of the wall and get the charge off? No, because the mute jammer now has a much larger range. It should block that. Okay, chat. That is all of the mute interactions. I'm sure we could probably make more interactions possible if I had a third PC and had Brava hacking the mute jammer and then seeing how it interacts with defender gadgets, but I don't have that set up, and I honestly, those situations are so fringe, I don't think it matters, but maybe if people really want it, I'll do another one in the future, and I'll just test how defenders get affected by mute. But that is it for the interactions. Mute, I'd say overall, nerfed way more than he is buffed. I'm trying to think of all the interactions that changed, and I feel like there was only like 5 that were better, and everything else was just worse for mute. So mute is now just like a drone blocker, and that's it. Anything else, trash. Doesn't have a third PC, but it says old rig in the cam frame. To be fair, I don't have it set up. I have a laptop as well, which I could easily install Siege onto and then test with it, but I just haven't installed it. I'm not going to sit here for like 20 minutes while it installs and prepares. So new season mute down to D or E tier. I'd say he's like C tier. He's still really good against drones, but the fact that he basically doesn't counter many gadgets anymore is pretty bad. I also, okay. I did have another idea for a video that I really wanted to do, but after I got home and tried to test things, I don't think it's going to work, but we can still try. So one thing that people have suggested for a long time is that Ubisoft needs to go to the ranked leaderboards and just ban all of the people in the top like 100. I think it was King George who has said multiple times where he's like, it's so easy to just go through the top 100, see who's cheating, and ban them. Because apparently, a lot of the time, majority of the top players are all cheaters. Now, what I want to try was using reputation.gg where people report and then there's clips for all of the reports. But unfortunately, their leaderboards, which I thought was going to be the top players in the world, is actually just leaderboards of people who have reported them. Because, like, number one person of the 30 days is Hardstyle, but it's his reports on other people. So, I don't have the proof to go through, but I was like, we could also just go through the top 100 and see how many of them are cheating, just based off stats. Deluxe says the number one player is cheating. Based off the name, I would assume you are right. When someone has a name with Discord in it, or it's a link, I assume they're cheating. But they only have a 1.38 KD in champ with a 85% win rate. The one thing I noticed before when I was looking at it was their names. They're definitely stealing accounts or stealing names or buying names because they had Thatcher, and then way before that they had Twice. So they're clearly getting accounts or names. If we look at their encounters, one person they played with for 200 matches was banned. Was this an obvious cheater? Consistently diamond, suddenly champ with a 0.5% increase in KD. Probably cheating. I joined the Discord through an invite and it had a lot of kids with DMA something or selling cheats. So what you're saying is this person is probably cheating then for sure. Let's look at recent matches and stuff. Although their headshot rating is not that high, it's actually pretty low for number one champ. It's between 30 to 51% on average. This is the highest one, but that's only one match. If I add more, it goes down to 58. So not enough proof on their account that they're cheating, but I mean they did play with a cheater for 200 matches, so they're probably cheating. And again, the fact that their name is a Discord thing means they're probably selling cheats. Let me see. Then guns, 1.63 KD with a 92% win rate. No cheaters. Looks clean to me. So the reason why I wanted to go through this and maybe see if I make a video out of it was since content creators always say this would be the easiest way to clean up ranked, because obviously a lot of champ cheaters are just pushing for number one champ. I want to see how long this would take and how easy it would be to just determine someone's cheating solely off of just their account. And I wanted to do the top 100. That might take a while. Because I'm pretty sure it was King George who just said he was just like, if they go through the top 100 once a week, they could easily ban them all. Which I'm sure they'll do that. Whether it's for this or even like when Top of the Ladder comes out, like Ubisoft's going to keep eyes on that. They're not going to let cheaters run Top of the Ladder. So they'll ban a lot of cheaters there. But does that mean that they could do it here? Manual bans and manual reports are never viable as a long-term solution, but maybe if it's obvious enough, they could probably save us a lot of grief. This person went from he was never champ before, champ once, way back in the day. Quit for a few years, came back, top champ, with a 1.67 KD and a 95% win rate. 1.67 itself is not crazy high, but the fact that he was like 1.28 and went up by 0.3 and top level champ is pretty kind of crazy. But his three of his top four played with are top champs who we're going to be looking over after. That guy we just looked over and he was clean. This one's going to be one of the next ones. He's also going to be one of the next ones. So he probably just started playing with a really, really good stack. Headshot rating is not anything crazy high. even if I just focus on ranked. Weird history, but honestly probably just like bought the account. That would be my guess, which is still bad, but not cheating. IK, 1.8 KD with a 92% win rate. 92%, or the win rates probably don't matter as much anymore because obviously a lot of people at this level are going to just have majority of their games won. He had a 2.3 KD 2 seasons ago, but with significantly less matches. A 1.8 over 500 matches is kind of crazy. It's not unheard of, but that is really high. No played with cheaters. I guess not cheating. Not obviously cheating, at least. Unless, could you imagine all these guys are fucking DMA and I just have no idea? You can cheat in the test server now, new VG video. Whoa, VG put out a new video? Guys, we should all go watch that. He's cheating 100% DMA. So why do you think that? I have not played against this person, so I don't know what he plays like. I'm just solely going off stats. The reason I also want to look at this is because one thing I'm always concerned about is a lot of people want to have the ability to report and get people banned for cheating. But I'm always concerned that like at the top level, just looking at this guy's account, I'm like, you know, KD is high, but it's not impossible if you play with a 5 stack that just dominates. But maybe they're all cheating and I don't know for sure, but like we've seen pro stacks have crazy high KDs because they'll just 4-0, 4-0, 4-0 and just kill people nonstop. Not that these guys are pro, but it's not impossible. We've played with most of them in EU at least. Chance to look at their names. Nothing really crazy here. But so yeah, one thing I'm always concerned about is whenever people want the ability to get people banned, like these top level accounts, people are just going to report them because they lose to them. A lot of people in the top 100 are they have egos because they're top 100. So as soon as they lose, they're like, couldn't be that they're better than me. I'm going to ban them or report them or want them banned. I do think his level to his time played is a little skewed. 4,000 hours at level 1,000. Is that accurate? Actually, it might be. I think I'm at like 10,000 hours in level 1,700 or something. Yeah, no, that's about right. And then this guy played with the others that we've already looked at. Very long history of being consistently 1.2 to 1.7 KD champ. What I find interesting is that in one of the seasons where he had a lower win rate, like an 80 compared to his 92, he actually had a higher KD. So somehow losing more but killing more. Maybe baiting. I don't know. Above 50, it's like 80% chance that he's cheating. So that's what everyone always says, but I'm always like, is that true? Are people just salty? It's possible. Again, this guy's part of that one stack. Like, a lot of people just report anyone who's in the top 100 because they're just like, no, you can't be up there without cheating. But, like, you can. Obviously, there's still a lot of cheaters, but you can still be up there. I won't even bother looking at Robbie. He's the pro player for BDS. He's number 6, so he's obviously clean. He's a pro. I don't know is MB a pro? What is .MB? Do I know them? Or do I know that? It's not pro. It's a Twitch account. Gifting subs is 35% off. Chat. Start gifting. Called Moneyball. They're an element. Okay, so not pro, but like tier 2, tier 3. Gotcha. 1.8 KD. I would assume if he's an element, he's probably not cheating, but that obviously that doesn't exempt them because a lot of people have been caught cheating. His KD did go, you know, pretty high up, going from like 1.1, 1.2 to 1.8 is kind of crazy.
Oh, I just
but
came
if he
everywhere.
just locked in with a stack that is very competitive, which a lot of the people we've already seen in the top 5 he plays with, kind of makes sense. Thank you for the 5 gifted cluster. Thank you, thank you. This guy also plays on the Camilla account, but he's played with him. How does he have 400 encounters with another account that he owns? How does that make sense? I do think this account, the Camilla account, I swear I've seen reported a lot before, and people always say they're cheating. They have a different Twitch account linked. I don't know. They're just account sharing? Well, I can't comment on that because we don't see anything, but stat-wise, they look clean. A Zebi from Canada, clearly clean, not cheating. I think I'm right. Has normal KD. It's kind of crazy to take a 1-season break, come back, and be top 8 champs in the world. Also never played before. Collision point. Guys, I might have been wrong. A Zebi might be cheating. Low headshot rating. Or normal headshot rating. Nothing crazy. Guys, a Zebi might be cheating. Maybe Canadians aren't exempt. Cheater, 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 cheater. Cheater, 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 cheater. Yeah, okay. So, I believe so far, so that's 8 people. That's our first. He's probably cheating, or at least boosted, which I'd still consider cheating. So far, only one of 8 are cheating. My goal is I want to see how many people in the top 100 are cheating. So far, we're at a 12.5% rate. Ramatov, long-time champ from the looks of it. Very long-time champ. Holy shit. He's been champ since, almost since champ came out. God damn. Long history of like 1.4 to 1.6 KD. Very high win rate, but we've seen that a lot recently. Encounters, no cheaters, lots of champs with him. Looks fine to me. Automod, stop me. I don't know why Gunnar gets flagged. I assume it must have been Scuff. Alright, number 10, Passio. Also, by the way, this has been 15 minutes and we've only looked at 10. So to extrapolate, if someone were to do this as a job, to look through the top 100, and it took about 1.5 minutes per player, that would be 150 minutes for the top 100, so 2.5 hours. So not even half a workday to go through the top 100 and just ban obvious cheaters. This person has not played with any cheaters. Seasonal is all over the place. Some seasons he barely plays at all. Some seasons he plays a lot in champ. Never had above a 1.5 KD, so I would assume he's safe. All right, tensions. Number 11. All over the place as well. Kind of weird that one season he had a 0.78 KD. It was only 29 matches, but That's very odd to have such a negative KD in plat. I mean, obviously he's in champ lobbies, but to come back and then just pop off, or maybe he just didn't really care about playing that season. Maybe he had lost the motivation. Only played with one cheater. 24 matches is a lot, but if you play with a lot of champs and they're like, oh, I'm just going to invite this guy who is pretty good, and it turns out he's a cheater, you know, that was like, but at this level, he should be able to tell if someone's cheating. He shouldn't have someone on his team that he doesn't know is cheating. It's always obvious. Wouldn't essentially get fast after the first time because you would see the names that aren't cheating. I mean, you should always check to make sure someone hasn't toggled on and started cheating, but yes, it would eventually get faster. Is this an actual Fnatic player? Sarks? I'm going to assume yes. Since he plays with Robbie. Yes, he's an actual Fnatic player. Okay. Don't even have to look at his account. Opal, longtime champ. Very long-time champ. Been champ ever since they did Rank 2.0, but never played Ranked before that. Unless he was a console player who, yep, he was a long-time champ on console. Holy shit. 2.3 KD in console champ with an, wait, how's that 85? I guess he hasn't played that many matches. Very high win rate. A 2.3 KD in console champ, it's got to be Zim, right? Like, I don't think there's any legit console players out there with over 2 KD in champ. Unless he would have played in, like, easy lobbies to just inflate his KD, because that's a lot of people did it on console. But for his PC stats, nothing crazy. Moderate KDs for this high of a level. 1.5 is obviously high, but for this high of a level, a lot of people have way higher. Or at least like normal KD. I think he's fine. Oh, I should have put chat on the screen so you guys could comment on this. I should have done that sooner. This way you guys can vote yay or nay on whether they're cheating or not. All right, we got number 14, Balza. Actually, I will move the chat though. How do I move this? I'm just gonna have a small chat. Now chat's just saying stupid things to be on screen. Okay. So Balza, champ. Never had a high KD. I think he has, yeah, he plays some console. Champ and instantly on console as well. That was the earliest he ever played. He might not be cheating on PC, but I feel like that's a console cheater. Unless he just made a new account and it was just shitting on kids. But to be champ instantly on console and have over 2 KD again, I feel like it's really high. But maybe console champs have just really high KD. Let me see. Just gonna quickly check. The top 3 champs on console. 1.7, I'm gonna assume that's legit. 1.78, I'm gonna also assume that's legit. 1.89. So yeah, higher KDs than a lot of the other champs. I'm the Gon 6. Okay. Why do we have to talk about the Gon 6? Alright, Zub. ZUB. Wait, that's the same profile photo as Vex. Do they play together? There's no way they just happen to have the same profile photo. They're probably the same account owner. That'd be my guess. Actually, I could check this. Matches played on the 23rd. Wait, this guy's Canadian. The other one's American. Maybe they're just a duo. Actually, no, they don't play together. I just want to see if they always play at different times. 11:35. 10:10. Different servers. US West versus US East. This guy was playing a game on US West at 9:56 p.m. Oh, but it's localized, isn't it? The time? I don't know if it is localized, actually. Just in case we can go back even before that. Yeah, this would have been overlapping. If this is West Coast time and this is East Coast time, these matches would have overlapped and they're playing. So they just happen to have the same profile photo. That's interesting. But they did not play together. This is actually the lowest KD champ we've seen in the top 100 so far. Has like a 1.3. That's really, really low compared to everyone else. Everyone else has like a 1.6, 1.5 plus. This guy has not played. Actually, never mind. Chat thoughts. 75 matches played with a cheater. 63 matches played with a cheater. But at the high end, 600 matches played with a champ. Do you consider this like, ah, man, like someone just invited a cheater to our stack? Like, that's so unfortunate? Or did he know? It's definitely not boosted because if he has how many matches? 811 matches this season. He's not boosted. He's playing a lot. And if he only played 75 matches with them, that's less than 10%. I wouldn't say boosted, but to play 75 matches with a cheater and not realize it is, I think, willful ignorance. Could be just joining a stack and not having a clue, I'd hope. I mean, I would assume that, but again, if you're a top level champ, you should not be struggling to figure out if someone's cheating at 75 matches. And 63 with Iku. Alt key with 37. It's a lot of matches with 3 cheaters. It is a significant amount. Okay. I've been losing track. We're still only at 1 cheater, right? I don't think Ball's played with a lot of cheaters. Yeah. I think it's just a Zebi. What was the guy's win rate? I don't think it's as high as the other people. 85%. That's actually pretty low. Most of the champs at this level have like a 92% win rate. But when he has 800 matches, he's going to lose a lot more. And he's going to have to work harder to get up there. This guy looks legit from a quick glance. Another profile photo with a Shiba Inu. They're both Shiba Inus, right? Okay. Encounters overall look good. Plays with a lot of the top people. No cheaters except for Booster down here at 15 matches. Was this a Blaine cheater? Not crazy Blaine from the looks of it. 15 matches is enough that I'd be like, maybe willful ignorance, but probably fine. Let's look at... Oh, we have 2 people tied for 17th. S-Zip. Just going to start looking at encounters first. No cheaters on the encounters. Seasonal looks pretty consistent. Ignore the bronze. It just means he was inactive. Champ for a very long time. Champ for 5 years. Very unlikely they're cheating. I eats Fran. Let's see. Encounters. Ooh, 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 ooh. 113 matches with a cheater, chat. Guilty or not guilty? That is half of his most played with. Most played with is 250. Chew.c9 is 113. Sus, guilty. This guy probably was pretty obviously cheating as well, because it looks like he was consistently like negative or close to even KD and then just went right up to a 1.4. And his win rate went up 20 something percent. It's possible it could have been a stat ban, but I also know stat bans are not really working right now.
Hugh.
Doing anything but playing Siege. To be fair, right now, so the reason why I'm doing this video and I did the mute video was I was like, okay, I'm coming back from 2 days away and I have zero content. I was like, I need to get 2 easy videos done that I can quickly do without having to get highlights, because I was like, if I play Siege today, I'm not going to have enough highlights for a video. I was like, I'll do all of this today, maybe Siege tomorrow, and then hopefully I'll have all my content for the rest of the week before the new season. We'll see. Thanks for the 3 months Toxic Rain. Check the most played with and his encounters with same cheater. This guy? Oh, yeah, this guy played with a lot of cheaters. I remember Charlotte. That name, I think, was like top 10 for a while, and people kept saying they were very obviously cheating. Okay, number 19, DRS. That name already makes me suspicious. A 0.5 KD in Siege Cup is crazy. Oh, this guy's definitely cheating. He's top 20 champs and never been champ before. Oh, he 100% is cheating. 96% win rate. He has played 426 matches and only ever lost 1. The other 15 he abandoned. This guy's 100% cheating. 100% headshot rating. 91%. 100%, 100%. A lot of these are low kill games, but he mainly just gets headshots. 100% this guy is cheating. Looks like he only recently just started getting a lot of headshots, which would be even crazier because he's getting in higher and higher lobbies. 100% headshot on 9 kills. It's not unheard of, but a lot of his high kill lobbies, he constantly has high headshots. He has a 44% overall. Someone lowers it for him. I mean, he could just lower it himself. He could just not get headshots. But obviously, with his history, like, he's cheating. He was a bronze and silver player who went inactive for years and then suddenly is top 20 in the world champ. He's cheating. All right, we have 2 cheaters. Actually, is it technically 3? Because you guys said this guy is probably cheating as well since he played with cheaters. So 3 cheaters in the top 20. And then this is the Camilla person that we looked at before. Chat said that they're a known account sharer. Again, I can't comment on that. No cheaters in their history, and I assume their history is long and consistent. Yes. Well, actually, not even that long. Randomly started in Dread Factory and was just champ ever since. So, I can't comment on the account sharing. It probably is an account sharing thing if everyone else seems to just know that as fact. But I can't say for sure. Put a counter on the screen. Chat will just keep track for me, right? We have 3 cheaters so far. 3 for sure. Gomez is a pro, so we're not even going to look at him. But also, I guess, just to give reference, so he's number 21 in the world. He has a 1.8 KD as a pro. And mainly, I assume, plays with pros. Yeah, he only plays with the oxygen stack. So, like, this is what normal, or not normal, but very high rank players do look like. Very high KDs, but they're a pro stack. Can you look at my account? No. Okay, number 22, Erasure. Consistently champ? Oh, not that consistently, not that long. 2,500, 2,622. That is quite the jump. But no cheaters in his encounters other than like people he's ran into a few times. Can't say he's cheating. Stats aren't even that high. 1.6 KD is way higher than what he normally had, but it also looks like he's just playing with a lot of really high ranked champs. Have I looked at console? No, I'm not going to look at console today. Again, the whole reason I'm doing this is because content creators for a while have been saying Ubisoft should just go through the top 100 and ban the cheaters. So I'm just trying to see how many cheaters there are and also how obvious it is. I have to pay for his lunch and keep track of his cheaters. I'm not even hungry. I probably won't order food until after stream. Which I'll probably end stream after this because this is going to take a while. Alright, creepy white cat. Number 23 with a 1.2 KD. Consistently champ for long enough. Ooh. Ooh. I think this was a very, very blatant cheater as well. If I remember correctly. I think this person was submitted for match replay or hacker replay. He was number 1 champ. Actually, he has a less suspicious like encounters than this guy. They play with the same people that got banned. The guy who got banned actually has an insanely low headshot rating. Like, abysmally low. In the last few days that he played before he got banned, he had like a 10 to 20% headshot rating. Which, like, you have to intentionally try to get that low. That's weird. Someone chat said that he got hacked. So his name went from Matthew to Matthew owned LMAO. But he also played with this person who also has their name changed to nobody owned. And they never changed their name. Also, when did his name get changed? That doesn't show. It says his name got changed here in 2023. Yes, okay, here's one thing we can do to see. This is going to be the most analysis we've had. The last time he had a actual good headshot rating was on the November 4th day, and then after that his headshot rating just went to shit. His name was Matthew Boy back then. And he was still playing with somebody called Nobody Owned. Like, his name back then was that, if I'm not mistaken. When his name got changed, his headshot rating plummeted. His name got changed on November 5th. And again, his name was normal up until then. But again, he was playing with this guy who's had that name for a while. So, the day his name got changed, his headshot rate plummeted, and then he got banned for cheating. So chat claims that he got banned or hacked, and that's what happened. But if the proof is that his name got changed, which proves that he got hacked, why is he playing with someone who's had this name like this for the entire time? That doesn't really make any sense. Ubisoft literally says in the Rainbow Six Siege code of conduct that using mouse and keyboard on console is not allowed. Yeah, people will still say it's just, I'm just buying something from the store. Playing with the cheater is playing with the cheater. Unless you're not a 5-second, you randomly get a cheater, then I don't see a problem. But 15 plus matches or so with the same person, nah, screw those guys. They also need to get banned. I agree. I think people should get banned for playing with cheaters. This is a weird one. I don't know where I sit on it. Again, it sounds made up that he got like hacked and someone changed his name to match his friend. That doesn't really make any sense. Because again, this person's had this name like this the entire time. So it's not like they both got hacked and their names changed. That doesn't make any sense. I'll leave that up in the air. In my opinion, that's just playing with a cheater, and it sounds like he was cheating. But I don't know for sure. All right. Moving on, Vaherk, number 24 champ. Oh my god, this is the longest resume I've ever seen. Oh, he plays with Pangu, like actual Pangu, I think. That is actual Pangu, right? So I would assume he's fine. Gluck. Gluck, Gluck. He is number 25 champ in the world, 1.4 KD. Ooh. Someone we said earlier was cheating, played with this mob guy as well. So I'm going to say cheating. If you've played 236 matches with a cheater, you're probably cheating too. Or at the very least boosted. Also came out of nowhere, champ. I'd say, what the hell is that profile photo? Oh my god. I'd say cheating by association. So that's 4 cheaters. Oh, he's also playing with the number 1 person who people in chat claimed is cheating for sure. So, 4 cheaters so far. Thanks for sub Nitro. Oh, guys, stop. Stop being horny. Now we're talking with the profile photo. The other one was meh. This one, you know, that does it for me. This person has no cheaters played with except for one he ran to 11 times. That could have just been one day a stack, or he ran into a cheater a lot of times, which would be very unlucky, but decently long history with some gradual increase over time with a lowish KD. I think he's fine. We have Vinked, level 20 or number 27. 3.54 KD and unranked. That must be like 1 match. That's 4 matches. That makes sense. Long history of champ with gradual-ish increase. Plat, he didn't really play a whole lot, but still plat for a while, and then champ is weird. Ooh, cheater. Ooh. I think I saw Dream here. Where was he? Dream, but only 4 matches played. I'm gonna say, oh, and he plays with the Zebi, who's the other cheater. No, he's cheating. Number 5, right? 5 cheaters so far. It's actually, okay, I thought for sure when we went through this, I was like, it's gonna be like 80% cheaters. But so far, we're only at around 20%. That's not that bad. We have Zed, who is number 28 in the world with a 1.84 KD. That is one of the highest ones we've seen. Plays with Zub. Played with that. I saw someone else play with this cheater a decent amount. Only 1 cheater, and it's 28 matches, which is still a lot. but not as much as we've seen with other people. He has had a 1.8 KD in the past. Having a 1.8 KD in 400 matches in top 100 champ is really fucking hard, but it's not impossible. Again, if you play with a stack, and especially if you know how to manipulate the server so that you're playing against bad people or like easier servers, not the hardest thing in the world. It is 80%, but you can't find out about the others. Again, a lot of people are very quick to just call anyone a cheater when they beat them. I think there's a decent amount of people at the high rank who are just really good, and just because people are losing to them, they just say they're cheating. All right, 29, Alex Priz, 1.4 KD. Consistently champ, but weirdly just became champ and never left champ, which is really odd. A few cheaters. This guy only played with cheaters, and he played with him 31 times. That's only 10% compared to his top played with. But if you play 31 matches with someone who is very clearly cheating with a lot of cheaters, at what point do we what point do we cut off? If he played 10% of his matches with that guy, is that enough or is that too little? 30 matches with a cheater, 240 matches with no cheater. Maybe we let it slide. Wait, what is happening? We're just going through the top 100 to see how many of the top 100 are cheating. This guy, I'm going to say right off the bat, probably not cheating. This Nibbling Napo has been in like 7, and EQ as well. These guys have been in like 7 different people's encounters lists. That's weird. Alex plays comp. Does he? In what? To play comp and just suddenly be champ in your very first game. I mean, this must be a different account then. There's no way this is his first account. What website is that, Center? Too many of the top 100 champs are cheaters and boosters. I mean, again, we're now, we're getting, that's number 30, only 5 cheaters. That's a, what is that, 18% cheater rate? At least obvious cheaters. Yeah, Center, just tell me what it is. I'll look it up after. The Big Sahur. 1.46 KD. This is our first Australian, I believe. Doesn't play with any cheaters. It's weird why so many people have new accounts. My guess... does it really make sense? I guess it kind of would make sense, is that a lot of these people probably have new accounts because they want to have like a different name or clean name, so they buy the account. Or they're just like, I don't want my history to look like, you know, I was copper for a while. They just want only champ, so they buy a new account and they're just in champ right away, which this guy might be doing as well. But he has a relatively low KD and normal stats. Win rate's really high, but if he plays with a lot of champs, which it looks like he plays with, these are the pros, right, from Enterprise. He plays with a pro stack. He's fine. Gotcha, Center. I'll look at it. Or I'll copy it for now. And then I'll open it later. Okay, there we go. All right, number 32. Was the number 1 player cheating? I didn't see proof of cheats, but everyone in my chat said that they are cheating. Apparently they are like a DMA seller, so. But BJL, who's high up there. No cheaters in his history. Pretty consistent champ. And plays with a few of the other top people. A lot of the top people, actually. Top 10. Looks fine. What the fuck is a DMA? A DMA cheat is where essentially people use a second PC to cheat. They have a second PC running the cheats that shows you where everyone is on your main, like on the second PC for your main PC. So it's like you can basically cheat on a separate PC, and it's hard for the system to detect it because they don't see cheats on your PC. I saw an interesting post about someone asking kids what they're asking for Christmas, and the post that lots of them were asking for money for boosters / cheating because all their friends are doing it. It's unfortunately becoming a very common thing as well. I can't remember who it was, but I think it was Evan who mentioned it. There was a rapper who was streaming, and he accidentally showed his bank account or like his credit card history, and one of the charges on his account was for a boosting service. And then he's just like, everyone else does it. Why wouldn't I do it? Like, people are just so upset that they can't be the best naturally that they have to cheat. But we've seen that in everything, in sports across the board. People cheat all the time. Steroids, performance enhancing drugs of different kinds. Like, people will always do it because they just want to be the best. But Bess, who's not the best, but pretty high up there, looks somewhat legit. Again, randomly just started being in champ. Very little history. It makes me feel like they probably just bought the account just so they could be champ, but doesn't look like they're cheating. About having a small PP syndrome, maybe. Honestly, if I had to choose between cheating and boosting, I'd probably cheat because with boosting, your KD is still going to be garbage. True. I don't know why anyone would ever want to boost. That just seems like a waste of money. This person claims to be in phase. I don't think that's true. He does play with someone from Wolves. Actually, wait, is Wolves even a thing anymore? Okay, I pull up the Wolves roster. It's Azur, Leader, Noodle, Tyrant, and Creeds. Organization is Kendra and Reich. Yeah, this person's definitely not on Wolves, a Rockstar guy. Also, it was Lil Yachty who did that. Yeah, that sounds right. Spent 100 matches going 2-5 just to get Diamond Champ when boosted. Yeah, I mean, people do it just for the charms and stuff, which is why, like, I've been saying for a long time, Ubisoft needs to just, because right now, if you get boosted to the top champ, you get all your rewards, your account gets reset, and it's like you still have champ on your history, and it shows you have all the rewards. They need to remove the rewards and remove the history of you being champ. But they won't do that. Or they haven't done that yet. I'm sure they'll eventually do it, but it's been taking forever. I believe this guy was cheating with a lot of people. Never mind. Account's gone. But anyways, to go back to this, it doesn't look like he's cheating. His seasonal is very short. He apparently popped out of nowhere and was just top champ, but not obviously cheating with stats, and also not playing with a lot of cheaters. Pretty high headshot rating, but not impossible. Like, he's consistently getting 90% headshot ratings on 10 kills. 100% on 10 kills is pretty hard. But it's only once in a while. Actually, he has a very high headshot rating here. It's not blatant, but it's pretty high. Another 100% with 10 kills. Another 100% with 10 kills. Okay. Chat. Thoughts. Within 1 month I think it was 6 different matches with 10 kills, 100% headshot rating. So 60 kills, 60 headshots in 6 matches. Thoughts? Sus. There's definitely red flags. He's just the next incarnation of Shroud. I think consistently getting 100% headshot rating with 10 kills in a bunch of different matches, or even 90%, that's pretty suspicious. But actually looking at this... Okay, we figured it out. Right, this is a quick match. This one's the ranked one. Never mind, we didn't figure it out. He's still playing in champ lobbies. It's not proof of cheating, but I wouldn't assume this guy's legit. I don't know if we count that towards the total. That would put us at 6 cheaters. But it's not proof. It's just circumstantial proof. Aureus. Bruh. Alright. We're at 6 cheaters now, right? Yeah, we're at 6 now. Not conclusive. All right, chat. Let's maybe look a little bit more. Oh, it's becoming a bit more conclusive. I think that's 6 cheaters now. Is that 6 or 7? Someone in chat must be keeping track. This guy has no cheaters in his history. 6 confirmed, 5 on the edge about. Okay. So 6 confirmed. Again, like no history account. His console account has way more history, but his PC account has like nothing. Is this suspicious? Do we find this suspicious, chat, to have
VarsityBagel3
like just be champ instantly, but have no encounters with cheaters? Like, are people just making new accounts? Is that what it is? They don't want their old account history to drag down their stats. Like, this guy still has his console account linked, but that seems weird on PC. Thank you for the 91 months, Yoshi. How you doing? Is he mouse trapped? I doubt it, because when did Mousetrap get introduced? I don't even remember anymore. He still plays on console. If he was Mousetrapped, he wouldn't be able to play on console at all. So no, it's not Mousetrapped. I think it's just like, it's just weird, but I don't know what to make of it. He was part of a M2K clan with a ton of cheaters and macro users, but never played with them. Deluxe, how the fuck do you know all this? This guy's been on the fucking... He's scouring the web for all these people. Also, what is this flag? LB. What does LB stand for? Lesbian. Doesn't play with any cheaters. But he is from Lesbian, so how can we trust? Again, another account with no history. Just immediately champ. It's Lebanon? Oh, I was close. Why does Lebanon have a Christmas tree on their flag? That seems weird. But not cheating from the looks of it. Guff, another Australian. One cheater. This one cheater is... Or, okay, actually... Oh, never mind. I was going to say, it does, when it says DEL and a bunch of numbers that just mean deleted account, it does not. These ones I wouldn't really consider too much for cheating, because 12 matches in Australia, he probably just keeps facing the same cheaters, but 27 is a little high. Just a lot of... Again, no history. Just champ right away. I don't know. Chat. Is this suspicious? Am I crazy for thinking this is suspicious? That he has like no history. He's just immediately champ. On console, no history at all. On PC, just 2 years, immediately champ. Is that normal? I don't play at the very high, like the top rank, so is that normal? Could be a smurf. If you're, what is that profile photo, bro? Actually, don't look at that chat. You're too young. Oh, I'm blocking it. He played with DRS. Someone said that was a cheater. Oh, right, that is a cheater. No, he's cheating. Or he's being boosted at the very least. She's smoking. Don't look at the profile photos. You're too young. What is this? Profile. I'm going to assume not cheating because you have to pay for that. So if he's paying for R6 tracker and is cheating, that's crazy. Zub and Zed, he plays with. The Eku guy has popped up so much. Alt key, 40 matches played with. But again, that's not the majority of their matches. Long-time champ. I'm going to assume legit. I don't know where I draw the line on, like, if he's played 40 matches with a cheater, but 270 matches with legit people. I'm like, is that enough? It should be, but I don't know where I draw the line. This guy has just a lot of matches played with a lot of the top champs. Very few cheaters. Icy Ghost. Long history, at least. The long history makes me feel good. I don't think they're cheating. Okay, so we're at 7, right? Because I think it was Guff who queued with DRS. Yeah. We're at 7 cheaters. 7 out of 40. That is how much? 19 to 20%? I feel like at champ level, people are so willing to dip out that if they know they're queued with someone sus, surely they dip out. That's what I'm saying. Like, having 40 matches played with a cheater, it feels like you just know at that point, and you're like, whatever, I'm just going to keep queuing until they get banned. Or I'll just play this, like, one day with them and then move on, but I don't know. If I were a champ at this level and we saw someone was cheating on my team and they were queued with me, I'd be like, I'm not playing with them anymore. I'm done with them. Loth plays with King George, so I'm going to assume he's fine. This guy plays with the #1 champ who chat claims is cheating. I don't think we even said for sure they were cheating, but again, Discord promoting probably means cheating or boosting. Are we assuming that if they play with the #1 champ that they're cheating? I can't remember their stuff. They did play. Oh yeah, they played 200 matches with a cheater. I think we did determine they were cheating, right? But okay, playing with the #1 champ, cheating. So that's now 8. I'm gonna edit back the video and be like, oh, I said that they weren't cheating. But no, if they had 200 matches played with a cheater, I think I said that they were cheating for sure. 200 matches is insane. This person has no cheater history and a very long history. I'm just gonna assume they're good. Oh, so someone said 20% cheaters is really high. I don't think that's that high. For Siege, I like in normal circumstances, yes, that would be high. But for Siege, honestly, with the top 100, I expected this to be like 50 to 60% cheaters. I don't know what flag that is. We have ZQZ, who has 88 matches with a cheater. And DRS, he's cheating. Okay. So this is now 9 matches. Or 9 people. 9 people out of 44. We're getting close to 25%. I think once we get closer to the like 50 to 100, we're going to have a lot more blatant cheaters. Or a lot more people who play with a lot of cheaters. Because like I'll just consistently do that from now on. If they play with like 100 plus matches or like majority of their matches are with a cheater, I'm just gonna assume they're cheating. This guy does not look like he's cheating. And seeing how he's from Japan, I'm gonna assume he's probably a pro. Two KD in 176 matches in champ in top 50 is really, really high. No history of cheaters. Again, it's not impossible to have that high of a KD, but it's very, very high. 96% win rate as well. Let me see their matches. This guy got banned for cheating. I just wanted to see if they're playing against easy lobbies. This guy's also champ, so I don't think so. I always just want to make sure when someone has a high KD that they're not like intentionally playing against low level lobbies. No, this looks fine. Some diamond lobbies, which okay, I had this discussion with Ubisoft people. They think there is an insanely high difference between like champ and emerald or champ and diamond. And I'm like, I don't think it's actually that high. In my mind, maybe it's because champ means nothing now. In my mind, if you're like a high emerald, you know, champ's not that different. But the Ubisoft people claim that there is a massive difference. I don't know. I don't think that guy was cheating. High KD, but chat says he's tier 2, so. Is another element team. Gotcha. This guy has a very, very high win rate and decent KD with no cheaters. Walsh. Bit of a weird history. To be plat for a while, leave for 4 years, or 2 years rather, come back, be gold, and then suddenly go up to diamond and champ is very weird. But maybe he bought this account for the name. How aggregated data versus regional players you face. I mean, region shouldn't really affect it that much. Someone stayed at champ for a while, and if someone stayed at emerald for a while, I'd be willing to agree with Ubisoft. I don't know. I feel like because emeralds play against champs all the time, like I don't think it's that much of a difference. But anyways, moving on. Number 48. Nilololololololol. 136 matches with a cheater. Were they blatant? Never played ranked before, champ. Top 8 champ in the world. And also played with a lot of other cheaters. Okay. I'm willing to say that if you play 136 matches with a cheater out of 400, that's enough to say that you're an accomplice. This isn't like just like the 20 or 40 we were talking about before. 136. That is a lot. Chat, what do you think? 136 matches out of 400. Actually, wait, no. How many is... I guess the encounters also includes previous seasons, because this says 400 encounters, but he's only played 200 matches. Either way, that's still a quarter or more than a quarter of his most played with, so I feel like you gotta say cheating at that point, or an accomplice. More than 20 you're willingly queuing? I agree. Well, I'd say more than 40. 40 for sure. But okay, that brings us up to number 9, I believe. Unearthly. No cheaters. No history. Normal stats, 1.5 KD, and a 72% win rate, which is actually really low for a top 100 champ. Most of them are 80 plus. I guess he's fine. 9 out of how many? This is going to be number 50. So if this one's a cheater, then we're going to be at 20%. What is that profile banner, bro? Just save that. Anyways, select. Lot of champs played with 600 matches with demo, whoever the hell that is. Let's see. Looks fine. Long history. I think he's fine. Did he play with King George? I didn't see, but I assume he's fine. Hydrate. Be a long ass video. I'll be able to trim it down a lot. All right, that is halfway done, and it's been an hour. Oh my god, my throat is like raw from talking so much. I'm sure a lot of these will be a lot more obvious now. Like I said, 50 to 100. Super Ethan, I feel like I've seen that name before. I think he's legit. I'm just gonna check to make sure. Looks fine to me. Long history. And his stats are 1.45. I think he's fine. Francis.Falcon. He has... Give it a second, chat. Pause check. Ooh, his most played with player is banned, and they had Falcon in their name as well. Ooh, this makes things interesting. If only this stuff would load. This guy, yeah, he must have been cheating. He was a gold and like bronze copper with negative KDs, and then suddenly became a champ with a 1.3. He 100% was, at the very least, like, subtly cheating. So, if they're playing 400 matches with a cheater in their, like, team name, I feel like you gotta be an accomplice. He does play with a Furia member, though. Actually, wait, that's not even a Furia member, is it? No, it's not. Yeah, I think he's cheating. Also, apparently, I didn't even, like, plan this to do all this stuff because servers were down, but apparently servers have been down, like, all day. So, I'm happy I decided to do this today instead of playing the game. But that puts us at 10, by the way. 10 out of 52. Almost 20%. No cheaters. Very long history. And what are his stats? 1.47 KD with a 84% win rate. That's fine. And his name is I Will Not Lose, so he clearly doesn't lose. The higher rank you are, the more likely you are to face cheaters because they all go straight to champ. I mean, yeah, I mean, it's always been like that. Noisy Biker. No cheaters. Long history. And a 1.67 KD with a 91% win rate. Both are high, like above average, but not crazy. When it comes to the top 100, I honestly don't know where the stats should lie. A lot of people have like 98% win rates and like 2+ KDs. I don't know what's normal. No cheaters. For number, who is this? Number 55. Lower win rate than usual. High-ish KD, 1.79, but not out of the ordinary. Having a 2 KD in New Blood is actually really high. But he has a very long history and a progressive history. Gold to plat to diamond to champ. Why he doesn't use dark mode on it. I didn't even know. Is there a dark mode for this? How do I change it to dark mode? It has always blinded me. Theme. Oh. Oh my god, that's so much better. Why didn't chat tell me this sooner? This guy has suspicious stats, but nothing conclusive, so I gotta say he's fine. Ooh, 147 matches with the cheater. How blatant is this cheater? This is 21. Bruh. He went from silver with a 1.5 to champ with a 2.03 and played with a cheater for 100 and something matches. This guy's definitely cheating. Yeah, no, he is cheating. Number 11. All right, 11 out of 56. A blitz main in the top 100 champs. This guy actually has very few matches played. 145 matches with only 4 losses. 1.36 KD. Again, not much of a history since he apparently never played PC without being a champ instantly. But, yeah. Seems fine. We're at 11. Ooh, 17, 22, 13. That's on the lower end. I'll give him a pass there. It's still high, but at least it's not as bad as other people. And only a 1.3 KD in champ. I'm going to assume he's fine as well. Logger. 117 matches with a cheater. Number 1 played friend is a cheater. But is this guy suspicious? He was bronze and silver, suddenly champ. And he played with the DRS guy. This guy is cheating. Logger's playing with cheaters. Number 12. 12 out of 59. Think about something for 1 minute. For them to go from silver in one season to champ in the other season, how long must he have been playing for with cheaters before the cheat caught him? I'd imagine a while. Yeah, I mean, it is sad. There's not much else to say. Thanks for 13 months from Lanky Craig. 145 matches is still 70 hours, give or take, of Siege. That's nuts to me. That'd be more like 20 minutes a match, 20 to 30 on average. That'd be like, yeah, I mean, even then, it's still like 55 hours. That's still a lot. All right, number 60. No cheaters. No history. His first season ever on PC, number 61 champ with a 2.11 KD. They're DDoSing, I think. Yeah, these guys are DDoSers. His whole history, none of these matches, or no, they're win trading, or like elo trapping, because they're just surrendering consistently. So this guy's cheating as well. What's weird is like all of these accounts are always different. Like every match is different people who surrender. There's never like any overlap. How the fuck are they getting so many different lobbies to consistently surrender against them if it's not the same people? That is insane. That means they must have like hundreds of people in this like Discord to coordinate elo trapping. That's fucked. Okay, no, he's cheating. That's number 13. Something interesting I found yesterday. It looks like once someone gets banned, anyone that queued with the cheater, the elo they earn after rollback looks like to be way less compared to pre-rollback. Maybe I'll look at that the next time I see a Blaine cheater. This guy is not cheating from the looks of it. Played with a lot of top champs. No cheaters. No history. No bitches. I hate this that no one ever has a history. But probably not cheating. Well, this is the guy that, again, people are claiming that he got hacked and then banned for cheating after his account got hacked. But the booster guy has always been called Booster, and he has 100 matches or something with him, and he's also banned for cheating. He even has someone who plays with him who's called I Love Booster. He plays with someone called Zim. I feel like the Booster guy very likely cheating. I doubt this is an innocent ban. If we're assuming the Mathy guy was innocently banned because he got hacked or whatever, I don't think Booster is legit. So I would assume cheating. So that's 13 now, right? 13 out of 62. Who did I just look at? It was Furix. Okay, look at Camped. All this just to be considered champ in a free video game is insane to me. People are willing to do crazy things just for a fake social status. Long history, no cheaters in his history. Consistently top 100 champ. I think he's fine. KDs look fine. He's legit. This guy looks like he has no history. He plays with the #1 champ. Yeah, he's cheating. That is 14 now. That's a pro. 2hunters.wh. Is WH a pro team? Does anyone know? He plays with this guy who I remember I said was cheating. Right? No, maybe I didn't say he was cheating. Oh, but I did say his history was weird. He also has no history, bro. I hate it here. Why has cheaters gone up by free to play, but you have to pay for ranks still? I think a lot of people have been able to just make a lot of accounts and test their cheats to see what gets caught and what doesn't. And then they play on their paid for account with whatever cheats don't get caught easily. But then, unfortunately, cheating has gone up like crazy. To answer Nasut's question that happened to come up at the same time, there are a lot more cheaters in like unranked and casual. Casual is like flooded with cheaters. People also told me that free-for-all was flooded with cheaters, but I tested that and there were no cheaters, so I didn't run into any. This guy's no history, but not playing with any obvious cheaters, so I'll give him a pass. We're still at 13. This guy, I remember saying that he probably was cheating. Yeah, he played with a lot of cheaters. 74 matches with him. He's probably cheating by association, so cheating. 14 out of 66. Limba also played with a cheater who I think we've looked at before. Yeah. 15 cheaters. It's important to remember when I say cheaters, they could also be just being boosted, but I still consider that cheating. 17? Are we at 17? I thought it was 16. What did I just say? I'll believe chat. If chat tells me it's 17, I'll say it's 17. Is that Bosco from SSG? No, it is not. This guy has no played with cheaters. A very long history of champ. I'm sure he's fine. Oh, that's a pro, right? Yeah, Wet. I remember Wet. This guy's not a pro. Ubisoft profits from cheaters. See, okay, that's where I think a lot of people don't understand. If Ubisoft got rid of cheaters, they would make so much more money. People always say Ubisoft profits off cheaters. That's why they let them cheat. Bro, if Ubisoft could stop cheating, they would be making so much fucking money. Like an insane amount. Because so many people would play the game if there were no cheaters. Obviously, companies have always in the past had more interest in short-term profits than long-term profits, but no company is that stupid to be like, let's let them cheat so we make more money. It's just not how it works. I counted 13 twice earlier. How the fuck do you guys pay attention to this? I can't even pay attention to myself and you guys are paying attention to it, but whatever, I appreciate it. 17 cheaters. This guy has a weird account history, but no cheaters in his history or in his encounters and no crazy high stats, so I assume he's fine. We're nearing the end, chat. Charlie. No cheaters. Long history. Not crazy high stats. I'm gonna assume he's fine. Unfortunately, you'll never have a game without cheaters. I mean, I play Battlefield. I still have not faced a single cheater in Battlefield. Just saying. This guy plays with people we saw earlier that I think we said were legit. And he has a long enough history that I'm fine with that. Also, servers are back up. Were servers down all day today? Did I just happen to do this on a day where servers were down? I didn't even know if they were down. I was just playing. I was doing test server stuff. Okay. Nicolo? A lot of champs in his history. Nothing crazy. Longish history. Okay, yeah. He came back and forth, you know. Played for a while, was top champ, left for like a year and a half, came back, top champ. He's fine. I think it's funny that some champs never get a cheat on their encounters, but some champs get games with cheaters. I mean, I don't think you'll ever run into someone who has absolutely no flags on all of their encounters. Like, usually if you scroll all the way to the bottom, you'll find some people who've played with a few cheaters, like whether it's against them or with them, purely like coincidental, but this guy doesn't have any flags. Yeah, looks fine. Not even crazy high stats. Yeah, I think if you look at my account, I think even I have a bunch of flags. It should always be at the bottom. Yeah, Obanshi was one. Oh, I played apparently against this guy as well. But yeah, mine are like obviously super low because I'm not playing with cheaters. I just run into them. All right, Jack Guns. Chat, we are almost at the end. We're at the 75% mark. No cheaters. No history. Also, he has a 1.93 KD this season. That's crazy. Let's look at stats. Normal KDs, or not normal KDs, but normal headshot ratings. Very high KDs for the day. One day he had a 2.3 KD. Maybe he just plays with a stack. No, R6 Tracker didn't wipe history. It's just, oh. I think people might just be buying accounts. Okay, after looking at a few of these matches, he at the very least plays with like 3 to 4 people every single time. He always has a stack. Not always a full stack, but a stack of some kind. People are buying accounts. I don't understand the point of it if they are. Like, is it just so that they don't have a bad history? This guy plays with pros, so I'm going to assume he's fine. He plays with Wet from Australia. Femboy Swayze. Ooh, 3 flags, but they're all 12 or less. This could be like just... Oh, that could be like 3 matches where they played against a cheater. Because if the encounters are still weird where it's rounds and not matches, that could be 3 matches. But I think he's fine. Okay, never mind. He's got to be cheating, or at least boosted. Bro, look, he has never been above plat, and now he's top 100 champ. And he plays with champs, but are these guys all cheating? Are they boosting? This guy also was silver before and now champ. This guy never played before and now champ. Account deleted or something, but no, he's definitely... He's playing with people who are boosting him. Wait, what? He has no history of ranked this season. What? He literally has a match from 2 hours ago. What is this game saying? Match unavailable. Match unavailable. Is R6 tracker down? R6 tracker is down. How am I supposed to finish this video? Bruh. Oh shit. A lot of stuff went down in the last like 20 minutes. Reddit is down. AWS is down again. Oh, that's why the servers were down earlier. That's probably why I had such difficulty logging in on my handheld. Just like the Twitch drops were stuck at 80%. Hey, the Twitch drops usually work, right? I mean, I can still pull up people's accounts sometimes, right? No, I can't. Fuck. In the meantime, what were we at? 17 cheaters? Or was it more? I've already forgotten. Chat, I need you. We're at 17. 18 with the last one. Thank you. Alright, while we wait. I will count that one, by the way. He was definitely cheating. While we wait. So, these are all the bans in the entire history of Siege. If we go all time, this goes all the way back, or not whole history, this goes to 2021. And there's a lot of missing in between. The most cheaters ever banned in one day was just Halloween of this year, where they banned 3,263. Actually, that was Halloween Eve, and then Halloween was 3,219. So they banned 6,500 cheaters in 2 days. Also, we can look at total bans over the last few years. In 2021, they banned 98,000. 2022, 74,000. 2023, 32,000. Significantly less bans. And then in 2024, the amount of bans went up to 160,000. I feel like there must be missing data in 2023. Yeah, okay, no. They had huge chunks of missing data. They were missing a few months. That's why it's so low. But even then, even if it was at 74K for 2 years in a row, it went up by double. 160,000 bans in 2024. That is insane. And then 2025 is already at 140,000 and the year's not over. There was one day in 2024 where they banned 5 people. Wow. I swear there had to have been a queue of people lined up because I looked at a ton of the accounts that got banned near Halloween and they hadn't played in months. They must have. It must have been like, okay, we've been holding on to all these bans for a while. Let's just ban them all. Which is still crazy for them to do. Yeah, that is what bans look like in Siege. It does make sense. Like, if you look through October, a lot of the days were like 100 bans, which is nothing. And then 3,000, they probably were holding on to that for a while. Look at how few cheaters we had. Actually, wait, when was Siege X? June? So there were a lot of bans around here, and they even said that they were banning a lot of people before Siege X, and we obviously did that one stream where we banned a lot of people manually, and then Siege X came out, no bans. They were missing data for a few days, but like no bans for like a week. And then now the amount of like daily cheaters is just only going up. And amount of bans. This is crazy. What's the point of a mid-match ban so we don't have to play against cheaters if they hold on to bans for months? I don't know what triggers a mid-match ban versus just waiting it out, but oh, they do that. Do. Bruh. Why? It's just AWS is down. AWS has been down a lot as well, right? It hasn't even just been like today. I think it's just been down a lot recently. Oh, if I refresh it, it works fine. Oh. Since I've started this recording, the top 100 has changed. You have Azid at 79 here and Femboy at 78. And when I refresh, Ticey.hkm actually overtook Azid. This website's reliable too. You can check the most recent ban and match it on the tracker. I mean, I'm sure it just goes off of in-game, like, the feed. Let me see what's happening with AWS. If it's going to be down for a while, I might have to, we'll have to go through. All right, I'm reading something while trying to talk. What is AWS down? If it stays down for a while, I might have to just go ahead and like end it here, but we'll see. AWS is still down. Seems like it's coming back online. No recent issues, it says. That's hilarious. Ticey is probably legit. Who is Ticey? Oh, down here. The issue is that I don't know any of the tier 2 orgs, so I don't know the names. Does it work yet? No. Server's still down. Your tracker works. But if I pull it up here, I think the issue is that it'll be a different list now. Where's just like the leaderboard button? Does that not exist on here? I can see this, but I have to go here to leaderboard. The website works for you. Oh. If I refresh, does it work? Nope. Nope. What if I do it here? Oh, it actually does work here, bro. Okay, I'm gonna have to use my in-game R6 tracker. Don't know why it's like this, but well, at least just go through the people that I can. So Azid we were looking at, or wanted to look at. He has a 1.3 KD in ranked with very little history, it looks like. His encounters are 71 matches with a cheater. But he got banned with the mathy guy. It could have been a like false ban, I guess. There's no history either. I don't know. We're at 18 now. I don't know how I feel about this, having like no history and just being a top champ. I don't know. Also, doing it here is really fucking annoying. This does not work nearly as well as the website. Definitely sure there's a big ass Discord server that is exclusively slang boosting. Well, yeah, we already knew that. So who am I supposed to be looking at next? Maybe Jen. I'll just do this for now so we can try to get through more matches or more people. No cheaters in his history. Long history. He's fine. Who's supposed to be next? That guy we've already looked at a bunch. So this guy played with that one guy who was cheating or banned for cheating or whatever. Since everyone claimed that he was hacked, I'll just assume he's fine. Hey, Triumph. Okay, Thanos, German. No matches played with any cheaters. Long enough history that he's probably fine. A high KD, but not so crazy. Headshot ratings are fine. Most of the matches are 4-0s. Although I've been noticing this more and more. Maybe it could be because the servers might still be down for the match or for R6 Tracker. It says this guy hasn't played a match in over a month, which does not seem right to me. How is he top of the world champ and he never plays the game? That must just be buggy. The game is dead. That must be the only answer. All right, Eraser, who was next anyways. Played with pros. Long history. He's fine. You broke your neck. What the fuck? Gotta stop breakdancing, man. Was this the person? Yeah. Scary.daystar is next. Lot of top champs played with. No cheaters. No history. What is with these no history accounts, man? Are they just buying new accounts? He's level 500. Where's his history? On Xbox? He has more of a history on Xbox, but still not even that much. I don't get it. I can't say someone's cheating because of no history, but that is annoying me. He's tier 3 and tier 2. Ticey, we were told by someone else, is also tier 2. Plays with a whole squad. I'm going to assume that's fine. I'm not going to bother looking into it. If someone vouches that he's tier 2, I'll just assume he's fine. And then we have dream.phase. Big titty girl is a profile photo. Played with Matthew for a little bit, which just means nothing to me at this point. I've seen that name too much. Long history of champ. He's fine. Again, we're at 18, and now we have reached number 86. We're almost done. Woke up in the MRI machine. Jeez. How long would that have been then? Chase Zera is next. No history of cheaters. Long history of playing. KD is fine. Win rate is fine. He is fine. I thought we were going to have way more cheaters here at the end, but it's looking kind of fine. Oh, you're only out for 4 hours? I thought it was going to be like you were, out for months. Still a lot, but no. Oh, one cheater, but only 11 matches. No history. This. When I see a history like this, I just have to assume they're cheating, but playing with a lot of top champs and having no history makes me feel like it's more likely the account was just purchased. It's only level 242. He definitely just bought an account and started playing on a new account. Or he probably bought the username. Anthony, that's a name I've seen a lot. I assume he's not cheating. But he is next. Cheaters are mostly around 1,000 to 2,000. Yeah, but I mainly want to do this because content creators always say that Ubisoft just needs to go through the top 100 and purge it, but I want to see how many in the top 100 are blatantly cheating. Which this guy is not. Long history, he's fine. Just have to make sure. Dzuf is next. Dzuf has one person cheating, 36 matches, Goku.ssg. 36 is not crazy high, but that is still pretty high. Played for a long time. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt and assume that at 36 matches, he probably just didn't know he was cheating and then was like, oh shit, he actually was cheating the entire time. 486 matches as a champ with no history at all. Goku.ssg. Played with a lot of cheaters. I can't imagine playing with someone in your stack and not looking at their stat history just because you're meeting them for the first time. Like, I would do that to everyone, I think. But maybe that's just me. Bye Bye Kiddo is next. I should check if this is backup. Nope. I don't understand how it works in this game, but it doesn't work on the browser. Oh my god, look at all these banned accounts. Okay, this guy's cheating. That is now number 19. Are we going to end at 20%? Okay, Zopi. No cheater history. Very little seasonal history, but at least champ consistently with not a crazy high KD. And stats look somewhat fine in the matches. I'm going to assume not cheating. R6 tracker works for you. Is it working for you on the browser or in the game? And then also, I guess AWS could be down in just North America. Okay, next up is Vage. Ooh, 1, 2, 3, 4. And one of them's a Goku guy. Okay. He's definitely queuing with cheaters. I think that's 20. We reached 20 cheaters. 20% minimum. Now we have Nako. Genji, is that an actual team? Oh, that's actually him. I always forget Genji is in Siege. Okay, we don't have to look at his account. I'm assuming he's fine. Asshole is next. Looks legit. No cheaters. Don't know how he has that name. That's crazy. You know Drew? My friend Drew could not get the name Drew Peacock because of the cock in Peacock, but this guy can have asshole as a name. That's crazy. Looks fine though. How did you get that name? I don't know. Must have been from like a long time ago before they had filters or something. Next up is Melusi. Probably also a purchased account or purchased name. Plays with the #1 champ who we have said is cheating, and played with Goku who's cheating, and oh my, a lot of people who are cheating. Looks like Melusi's also cheating. I wonder if they played with like the Zofia person who was cheating last season. Probably. So that's 21. M540I. This guy's not even up. Oh, he moved up. So this next guy has no cheater history and then no real history. What the hell? He went from a like hard stuck, or not hard stuck, but just barely played dime or bronze to gold into just champ. But he plays with a lot of top champs. Chat verdict. 100% headshot rating on the day with 8 kills. What is his overall headshot rating? Not that high. Yeah, we're at 21. Very high headshot rating. 80% plus. Some days 100%. 90%. He's cheating, right? 90% headshot rating in champ lobbies is insane. Even at its lowest, it's at 80%. And then before that, it was... Oh, no, he definitely downloaded cheats. He went from like a 59% headshot rating on average. Oh, no, 40% to like 80 to 100%. He's cheating. He's cheating. Okay, so that's 22.
I just love Dex.
Thanks for the 43 months, Lencio. I joined at time for hacker replay. Kind of. We're just going through the top 100 to see how many are cheating. He played with one cheater that we've seen a bunch, but he only played with them a little bit. We've just seen them on a lot of different accounts. He has no history at all. Old Tora. Headshot rating seems fine. Must just be a new account. Seems fine. Just no history. We only have 2 left. Breeze and Asa.genji, who I assume is also another... Yeah, he is another pro. Okay, we only have 1 person left. Breeze. Let's go find them. Number 99. Number 100 is a pro. No history of, like, multiple cheaters or anything like that. Long-time champ, or recent champ. Long-time diamond before that. It is weird that he took a break from the game, came back, and was just champ consistently, but we have seen weirder things. Low headshot ratings for the most part. I think he's probably fine. How off was Siege gone that you need to go through top 100 chance to see who's cheating to get any content? Again, I mainly did this because I was like, I don't know if I really want to like grind clips right now, so first day back, I'm just going to go through the top 100. That is the state of Siege, though. This is content, is to go through top 100 and just see if they're cheating or not. 22 out of 100 top 100s are champ, or cheating. And those are only the blatant ones. Like, I only said they're cheating if it's blatant. If they had played with a lot of cheaters, had a very, very questionable stat line or history, or I don't know, anything else that was like super, super blatant, 22 of them cheating, which means probably at least like 10 of them are subtly cheating. That would be my guess. Like they're DMA trying to be subtle, but over 20% of the top 100 are cheating. We'll leave it at that. Interesting to see. I do wish I could go through the reputation, just see like clips from the top 100 and see if they're cheating, but we had to just go off stats. Surely with the new season, we'll have more content. We won't have to rely on this, right, chat? And hopefully there will be less cheaters, right, chat? Yeah. I'm not hopeful. I know Ubisoft is very hopeful, and they keep being like, "Don't worry, anti-cheat is just gonna like it's around the corner. It's gonna work. We're gonna get a lot of cheaters banned." But I'm like, they've been saying that for a while, and we've never seen a lot of cheaters get banned. It always just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. Somehow the player base numbers are going down, but the amount of cheaters is going up. So the percentage of the community who is cheating is just significantly higher. It's not a good time to be a Siege creator. I'll tell you that. Okay, chat. That was going to be it for today. A whole stream with no actual playing. We just did testing and then we did top 100. I know it's only a 3-hour stream, but I'm going to head out. I will be back tomorrow, and tomorrow we'll probably actually play Siege to get some clips. And then, yeah, I don't know what we'll do for the rest of the week. We'll see. It was a chill stream. It was. And then don't forget, new season is Tuesday. I'm hoping that new season is good, because it will really suck if new season just shits the bed. We'll see. All right, I will catch you guys tomorrow, all right? Bye.